Did you miss out on the PulseChain and PulseX Sacrifice? Let's begin talking about what you can do to make sure that you do not have a chance to, or that you have a chance to take advantage of the new system when it launches. Now, while it may appear to be a missed opportunity, sometimes investing in the project, especially during the sacrifice phase, can be unpredictable and result in losses. So don't count it out just yet, because right now it may not necessarily be a bad thing to have missed out on the sacrifices after all, okay? So I wanted to discuss this because the PulseChain Sacrifice happened probably in August of 2021. Now, so many folks had to take the leap to go and sacrifice that amount, and yet PulseChain is still not here. So again, do not find it as a loss. Now we just need to figure out how we can make it better for everyone. So now let's explore some available options. And starting off, the first option is going to be the PreBridge Trading. Now, some are going to view this as risky, and it can provide an opportunity to get in front on the ground floor of a brand new project. By conducting research and analyzing market trends, you actually might be able to make an informed decision and potentially reap significant rewards. Now, I've discussed this in my previous videos where we go through and talk about PulseChain versus PulseX, especially if you missed the opportunity, especially ratio swapping. This can, in fact, be one of the riskiest parts to do. So unless you fully understand what ratio trading actually is, I don't advise going with that option to at least start off, because you can incur a significant loss by not understanding what it is. Now, one of the better investment strategies to plan for is to consider setting aside some dry powder in stablecoins right now. Wait for a good entry point, although this approach may require patience. It can be a smart investment strategy in the high volatility crypto market, but by keeping some funds in stablecoins such as USDT, USDC, even DAI, and other stablecoins like that, you can avoid the risk of losing value due to the market fluctuations. Now, stablecoins are pegged to the value of a stable asset such as the US dollar, and they're designed to maintain this stable value. So for those folks who are looking for just making sure they have some powder, some dry powder ready to deploy when PulseChain launches, this is probably going to be the best investment strategy for you. When the market dips, you can use your dry powder to typically buy some cryptocurrencies at a lower price, potentially generating a much greater return in the long run. However, it's important to also understand this comes with its own flaws as well. And sometimes making hasty decisions can also be a terrible thing as well. So you got to be sure to be patient and wait for the right moment to invest, because guys, folks, timing is so crucial in the crypto market. Prices can fluctuate significantly in a matter of hours, minutes, seconds, and especially when PulseChain first launches, the volatility is going to be crazy. So get ready for that, because by monitoring market trends and conducting your thorough research, you can definitely identify the right entry points and make your informed decision. So this is one strategy that some folks are going to be able to implement. By having a stablecoin ready to deploy when PulseChain launches, it's just going to allow you that much easier of a ability to take advantage when the price drops. Now, this is one method that you have to understand a little bit more in crypto, in my opinion. Crypto does come with volatility, and on average, crypto can drop anywhere between 60, 70, even 90%. Now, a lot of good entry points are usually below 50% in the price deployment. So if the PulseChain launches, when the PulseChain launches, the best strategy you might be able to do is wait for the pullback and wait for that 50% dip with that dry powder. Now, this is going to take some extreme patience on your part to understand and not have any FOMO. So again, might not be the best way to do it, but it is one of the best strategies to make sure that you aren't setting yourself up to the volatility that's currently in the market right now if you were to go buy a particular crypto. It's also important to remember that the crypto market, while it is highly volatile and highly unpredictable, prices can definitely rise and fall rapidly, and there's always potential for losses. Therefore, it's important to make sure that you come up with your own investment thesis that's going to make sense for you, because setting aside dry powder and stablecoins and waiting for a good entry point can be a smart investment strategy in the long run, right? In this highly volatile crypto market. By using this approach, you can actually avoid the risk of losing value due to the market fluctuations and other potential variables that you may incorporate into it as well. So keeping all that in mind, it's always important to keep everything and determine what's going to be the most advantageous for you and see which one's going to be the best decision before making any hasty decisions as well. Now, all of these are going to have its own perks, its own benefits, but one of my favorite strategies right now is to accumulate Hex. Hex is a Richard Heart ecosystem product. It is already in the ecosystem, and it's going to probably have the most promise for potential of high growth investment. It's not too late to invest in Hex, despite maybe other people believing other beliefs and popular belief. The price has already risen, but there's still so much potential for further growth, and investing in Hex, you can generate significant returns in the short term and in the long term. Now, if you decide to invest in Hex and use it as your tool to get into PulseChain, that is going to be your decision. And what I would recommend in that scenario is to dollar cost average. It's probably the best way of investing in terms of your general investment strategy. By investing a fixed amount of money at a regular interval, you can smooth out the market volatility and potentially generate higher returns over time. Now, this is very important for folks to understand because Hex has the potential to go and do a 2, 5, and 10x very quickly with just news of PulseChain coming out. Another option to consider is investing in similar projects that are also in the early stage. You can do things like Maxi, Hedron, other crypto projects that are in our ecosystem for the Hex ecosystem, but may not have that same volatility that Hex would bring when PulseChain launches. So again, it's essential to conduct your own research, monitor the market, avoid making hasty decisions because, guys, this is one of the best strategies that you can use. It's going to be a tool played by so many people. So many folks are going to use this as their own game plan. Why? Because it's going to have probably the most liquidity to provide right when PulseChain launches. So if you are stacking up Hex right now for the sole purpose of swapping it for PulseChain or PulseX, you can potentially capitalize on the short-term return, and then also whenever PulseChain launches to be able to have a long-term return by swapping into the PulseChain or PulseX system once you decide to do that. So again, this is always important to remember because, guys, it is a crazy freaking time, as you know, and I just want to make sure that everyone has a good strategy because, guys, investing in crypto can be wild. It's a wild ride. It's a roller coaster. It has so many ups and downs, so many happy moments and sad moments, but you want to make sure that you have a thoughtful approach and willingness to take calculated risk. By exploring different investment options and using smart investment strategies, you actually can potentially generate significant returns and achieve financial success. Now, what that means to you is completely up to you. But again, for so many folks, they're going to have financial freedom when PulseChain launches, and you might be able to take advantage of that as well.